13.
13 points. And we had a conversation probably early Sunday. I'm like, Tommy Berry, it's his home game. Listen to me, Michael. And I'll be honest for the listeners. I go, there's a chance I might play him ahead of Cadman. And thank you.
I know.
199.
How crazy was that?
Why
Just
are you
taking
putting
the
me in
piss
here?
against kids? Yeah. Like 2 rounds ago, I said, there's no way I'm going near wine. Oh my God. And I'm just here, just going. G'day, lads. Welcome back to the One-Eyed Pod. It's round 2, is it?
It's round 2, yeah.
Yeah. Round 2.
Yep.
It's Monday. We just,
I was more just going to say we never do it, but if you can just give us a like, a follow on the YouTube, it'd be much appreciated for our algorithm. It gets us in the SuperCoach algorithm.
He's just hitting you with the like and follow straight from the get-go. No value and just straight into the like, follow, and subscribe. It's round 2. It was a interesting round. We were both set on some trades that we wanted to do, and then at the end it kind of just we'd panicked, and the panic ended up kind of being good though. Would you agree?
Oh, totally. I mean, we both got in fucking Tom Berry, the most useless.
and Billings, most useless.
Oh, well, yeah. Don't get me started on Billings. I once we touch on Billings in the teams, but I'm more hopeful about Billings than I was Tom Berry. I saw Tom Berry do about 3 things yesterday, and I've just gone, I knew you were a 1-week trade. He didn't even make the coin that, we needed, and he's actually royally fucked us. Like, I was looking at trying to upgrade players, and he hasn't made enough money that I projected. And I was like, come on, Tommy, just... And I saw someone comment on the Discord, yeah, a one week play works all the time. And I'm like, oh...
I was literally, because I was working when he was playing, and I was like, oh, fuck, I reckon he's going to be doing pretty well just in my head. Like, oh, yeah, he's told me he's kicked a goal. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, like, he's on, we're on. This is going to be the best game. And I heard that Took was doing great as well. And I'm like, this is going to be, I'm killing it here. And then I look, bloke scored, what did he score in the end? Like 13?
13 points. And we had a conversation probably early Sunday. I'm like, Tommy Berry, it's his home game. Listen to me, Michael. And I'll be honest for the listeners. I go, there's a chance I might play him ahead of Cadman. And thank God.
I know. I told you I talked you out of it.
I was like, home. It's his home ground, and that's all really my bases off. He cleaned up the last week, and then he only got 9 touches the week before. Anyway, I was so happy when he's sitting on my bench, but he did nothing. His TOG was terrible. I'm pretty sure it was like 60%, like same as Sexton, who we'll talk about later in the podcast. But yeah, easy trade out and just cut your losses. But I was skeptical of bringing him in because he was a 1-week punt, and I was right. I mean, there's no one worth 200K at the moment in our teams that we want to get rid of. So it really doesn't mean anything. It just feels like, what did we get on this crap footballer?
It hurts a little bit. But you know what? I was thinking, like, it hurts a little bit, but it actually allows me to do some stuff.
Yeah.
His cash allows me to have a little bit of flexibility because I'll have 2 players, Took and Green, out this week.
Yeah.
So now I can get rid of Tom Berry instead of the other Berry. And you know what I mean? And now Took and Green will be on the bench, and now the Adelaide Berry will be on the field. And I don't have to get rid of him this week, and he can gain me some cash. So it actually works out for me a little bit.
Are you sure he's going to play this week? That's the real question.
The Adelaide Berry?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
I don't know.
We'll see. Do you want me to jump into my team?
Yeah, sure.
Right? Do you reckon he's just because he got subbed, he's going to get booted?
I mean, I don't think I what oh, that was a Friday night. He had pretty low tog. I mean, he's a
Hmm.
promising player, but the problem is Adelaide they're 0-2 now, aren't they? And he
Yeah,
was the
and
first subbed. So,
yeah, and they were getting smashed in that midfield. Hey,
mm,
I'm a little bit
yeah.
concerned about that. How badly they were getting destroyed in the midfield.
Well, they've all accommodated to Crouch, haven't they?
Hmm.
Well, for Crouch, yeah. Um, which he's good, and he like it must be all the others' faults to be honest, because he's playing great, and
Hmm.
everyone. But I don't see how you'd probably have to get rid of Berry and make some other changes. I don't know much about Adelaide, but um,
Hmm.
they got to do something because they haven't looked that good both games.
Nah, they've only looked good in like the last 5 minutes of every game.
Yeah.
Like they just come from nowhere. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Anyway, I was two rookies off being in a top 1% this week. Like, if I had played two different my rookies, I would have been a top 1% score, which it really kills me. So this, I feel like this is a low score, but it's probably not like a reflection of how my team's actually going. 'Cause I just keep losing rookie roulette. What do you reckon?
I mean, it's going to happen. I was going to talk about it later, but there are so many good rookies right now that it's just going to happen. And you know, you've got Reed in your defender. I think that you should maybe just hold him because he can get a loop somewhere because all these rookies are just punching out mega scores, but um, choosing the right one is just so hard. Like Sanders, I was confident on benching Sanders, like just like you did, and then I'm watching him and I'm just going, holy crap, this kid
He's a jet,
is
isn't he?
legit. Well, he
That's
was
what I told
taking
you in
yeah,
pre-season, but then he got subbed out last game, and
that's
it kind of
and I
made me.
watched that game. Yeah, I watched that game. He was on the chopping block for me, just
Hmm.
purely because he's 184k, and I think they've dropped Darcy now. They've got that they put Bont forward a couple of times, and they just
Yep.
let Sanders go in there. So he's going to be great. Like I saw someone traded him out for Berry. I think someone in the YouTube community. I don't know his name, but that's a
Mate,
massive loss. He'll probably be one of the best rookies.
I've seen some fucking crazy trades, like the fact what people not starting McKercher, people trading McKercher out, people not starting Sanders. Some of these
Oh,
decisions by people, like
well, one of our friends, Nathan, shout out to Nathan, who's killing all of us apparently, but we'll catch up to you. I remember him saying, "Yeah, I just brought back in McKercher." It was like McKercher was never, like McKercher was always. He had a crappy preseason game, but his numbers were there, and dude, he absolutely killed it. He killed it on the game on Saturday, like absolute freak. Just a mini Sheasel, essentially, just a better kick.
mm. They love to feed it to him as well, like they trust him.
Everyone that the North ball is in full flight. Bloody, you can
How
get
good
to
did
your
they
trade
look?
outs. Yeah, unreal, unreal.
Yeah,
But only for a half until they got steamrolled.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, this week for the Spotify listeners, I VC'd Dacos and then put the C on Bontempelli. I scored at 1995. So it's a little bit depressing. I had Roberts and Sanders on the bench, which fucking killed me. Like, literally ate at my soul. The fact that they were on the bench and they were literally my ticket to going up a fuck ton of ranks. But it's okay because we know our team's still like in a little bit of like we've got the pillars basically. Only concerns for this week. Should we do Imagine of the week and Stallion of the
Yeah,
week?
I
Imagine
forgot
of the week.
we haven't
Yeah.
said this yet. Yeah, it's
Nah.
taken us 2 rounds to remember
To, to
our
remember, we used to
popular
do that.
mottos.
Yeah. So my Jack Magin of the week, and for the new listeners, because there's a few of you now, um, the Jack Magin of the week is basically, as the name suggests, the worst player in your team that, and it just basically ruined your round, and is the literally you want to kill yourself because of him. Jack Magin, shout out. And then the
Poor
stallion of
bloke.
the week is poor bloke, self-explanatory, just like the absolute jet, who you were so happy that you have in your team and nobody else. But just you're happy you got in your team. Anyway, Magin of the week. And I think everyone's gonna be this one, but I'm gonna choose a different one this time. My Magin of the week is going to have to be Berry from is this Sam Berry? Yeah, Sam
Yeah.
Berry from bloody Adelaide. Like I've never
Well,
seen a
the
player
other
have
berries.
the
Sorry,
other
the other
berry.
berry is obvious. The other berry is
Yeah,
obvious. Can we just put that out
yeah,
there?
yeah. The other berry is an obvious Magin, but he wasn't on field, so he can't possibly be my Magin of the week. He could. I've never seen a player have so much promise, so much opportunity, and just be so shit. Like stats could have easily outscored this. Could have been like, I don't know, 70, but just sucks with footy in hand. Like so much opportunity, great role. Um, just unsure about this guy and footy. Maybe he should go back to the VFL. Terrible pick. But I
Uh,
wouldn't be
uh,
surprised if he could like pump out an 80 or a 91 game.
no, well, that's the thing. He's actually a good player, but he's in a shocking role, and they've got that many of those, you know, Pedler and Rankin, and
I don't
I
hate the
know
role.
that.
He's always around the footy.
Yeah,
Like he's always
I
there.
don't
He's
know,
always around the footy.
but you don't want to tag her as your player.
But he wasn't
Like,
tagging this week. He was tagging
but
last
last week
week.
it was. Last week
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
I don't mind him. I just think elevated price helps you out as well. So, is he really imagine? Today he is, but he'll help you
Today,
out.
because he fucked me and I could have had Roberts or Sanders on
That is
field.
true. That is
But
true.
I'm gonna get to this. So this week's trades, we did can
You
it show
haven't
me?
even
No.
said Stallion yet.
Oh yeah, my stallion of the week, and it's not who you're gonna think it is. It's not Zach Butters.
Oh, come on.
He's not my stallion of the week, even though he went 175. My stallion of the week is Took Miller. I absolutely fucking love this guy. I've been calling his praises since the preseason, and it's going to go on I think he's nearly the highest total points in the league at the moment. Took Miller, just keep pumping out these. This is what I wanted throughout at the start of the season, and you're just doing what I wanted you to do. 116,
He's
137,
consistent.
115. Yeah, Took Miller, Stallion of the Week. But yeah, trades last week were Denver. Oh no, we did what did we do? We did Zach Fisher out, Billings in, and then I did Jai Clark out for Berry, hoping that he was going to gain a heap of cash and I could punt him off. Late news came in that Hoare was going to be sub, and me and Crooksy just fucking panicked because I had some terrible scores in the system, some terrible scores, and you did as well. But I think I was in a little bit more of a place. So we took a gamble on D'Ambrosio and we're literally in it together, like holding each other's hand through the whole
Well,
game.
we that is true. But we knew we wanted him next week, and there were no options.
Yeah.
So
And it
it
kind
was
of
a
worked
risk.
out in our favor.
It was a low risk. It was a low risk.
It was like we were going to get him in. There's no other options. It's going to work out in our favor. And now this week, we don't have to trade him in. Like if I didn't trade him
No.
in, now I would have had to do that this week. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy with that. And an 87, this could have easily been a ton. He had a heap of like short kick clangers, just
he could be
simple
a
pass
keeper.
clangers. Yeah, he looked great. Looked outstanding. But I want to talk to you about my my trade plans. Now, I'm pretty confident on this. I haven't had too much of a look because I've been pretty flat out of work, but I'm pretty confident on these decisions. And let me know what you think. I'm going to go Hayden Young out because fuck Hayden Young. I'm going to keep Nick Martin. I'm going to go this Berry out down here. Oh, did I click him? And then that's it. I'm going to bring in Luke Ryan. And then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to swap it down there. I'm going to bring in Carroll. All right. Now it gives me 56K in the bank. Now listen to this. 56K in the bank. Nick Martin is projected to, if he scores 75, hopefully it's a little bit higher than that, but I think 75 would be the lowest he could score, touch wood.
Well,
470K.
round one begs to differ. Round one
Yeah,
begs
yeah,
to
yeah.
differ.
Fair call. 470K. Let's just say 468K, 465K, right? And then I've got 56K in the bank. And then if we look up Sam Flanders, next week he's going to be 528K. So I can do these trades, and next week I can shift Martin out, do 2 trades, get Sam Flanders down here. Now I can punt out. I can probably go Berry out because he's going to gain some cash, and then Nick Martin out. Sam Flanders down into my forward line. That allows me to have Roberts and Sanders on field. Thank the Lord. And then I just push up Lazario and Wilson into the midfield. Like, how fucking good is that? And I could probably get another great rookie. And then I'll have Sam Flanders down here to fill out my forward line and punt off Martin.
What's his name? Darcy was pretty good, so you'd probably want him the next week. So that could be an easy trade if you're planning to do that. I don't mind it. It looks good. You've got 3 good mids. That's the most important part you need to attack these buy rounds. And you've got the good setup with Tuke's so helpful at that price as well. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him.
Because he's risen as well. It was only because I picked Green. It was only Flanders. I couldn't have Tuke or Flanders, and that's what you've done as well.
The reason I faded Flanders is I was in my head. I thought that I could maybe catch Flanders after his buy, but I couldn't catch Tuke.
Yeah. I mean, the perfect move in hindsight was not even start Tuke and just start Luke Jackson. And you would have been polishing them all.
Yeah. But what can you do? I mean, a lot of the people who have Luke Jackson don't have Heaney, so...
Exactly. Or they've got both and they haven't got Flanders. But I did see Big Shrek Darcy running today, so I hope he's back. He's doing light running, but I hope he is back. I hope. I'm begging.
I hope so.
I'm begging the SuperCoach gods to just do me some wonders,
If he comes back, that would just be the icing on the cake because...
He'd score 90. But the thing is, Luke Jackson has a break even of 5. I've seen people are trading him in right now because he's just absolutely going to launch. He's going to go crazy. It's going to be good. And he was everywhere when I was watching. Cherry was even a good ruckman. And he was doing all right. And Jackson was just like, fuck you, man. I'll just...
Mate, did you see him just tap it in front of himself from the center, run onto it, and then
crazy. I'm just what the hell?
Instead of going for the ruck contest, just pushed it forward.
This was
just
the
a
whole
meter
thing.
so he could grab it.
We were so keen, and we had him, I think, in the original pod, we had him in. And then we're like, 3 weeks. That's a scary sort of position to be in if you have to trade him out and you have Heaney and we think Heaney's a trade out. I wish I took the punt on Luke Jackson because he's just going to make so much cash. And then you could could have gone down to a Flanders.
Mm.
But you might be in the same issue as Heaney and just like, fuck, like I'm actually stuck with this bloke. But he might be all right as well.
Yeah, I'm not too honestly, I'm not too concerned about Luke Jackson. Like I know he's a ripping pick, but
Yep.
I feel like when the time comes to trade him out,
Yep.
it's going to be an unfortunate time. Don't you reckon? Or do you reckon
Yeah.
there's just like no downside to it now, just because he's going to gain so much cash?
Well, he's going to gain so much cash, but you're still blowing a trade on someone that, you know, pretty early
Mm,
days. But I think you might be stuck with him because he might score 90, and the forward lines have shown no promise as well.
mm,
You know, we're looking at blokes like Tom Powell because he's a keeper when
yeah.
no one, that's just because no one else is there. And like big old Jack McRae, can we just give a shout out to him?
How
199 Supercoach
crazy
points.
was how
And
crazy was that?
he is our highest value forward primo,
That
you know?
is
So we have nothing.
fucking
And there's not going to
mate.
be much
What did he
GPP.
get? He got 47 disposals, didn't he?
I had it a minute ago, but
In the meantime, this is how I'm probably going to set up going into the next round. It's not ideal,
I've
but
got it here.
these
So
go.
46 touches, 25 contested, 16 clearances, 8 inside 50s, 5 tackles, 5 score assists, 199 Supercoach, 149 fantasy.
Wow, he's basically just said like,
Why
just
are you
taking the
putting me in
piss
here?
against kids. Yeah, because he's fully fit, like he's ready to go, and it's
Well, he's
crazy.
obviously not injured. I mean, I think he
No.
must have had just a slight injury, but I mean, Bully's actually played pretty well last week. I'd love it if he got picked again in the seconds. That'd just be that would mean that he's not playing this year. I don't reckon he'll be like
Yeah,
Matt Crouch of last year. But yeah,
yeah.
go on to your team.
I was going to say this is probably how I'm going to start for next round, but this is at the start of the season. The reason why I was starting both Took and Green is because I was saying to Will that I think that these rookies that we have will easily score 100, which are the fucking proven. Look, 94, 95, 99. So there's a little bit of a loss, but there's not as much as the
No,
upside of starting these guys. You know what I mean? Um,
no, I totally
so I
agree.
So I think I'm going to take a little bit of a hit this week, but I don't think it's going to be as bad in the long run because I don't have to target players like Took, you know?
Yeah, he'll be 625, just back to his usual price where he stuffed me over last year, and I'll never forgive him.
Yeah.
I mean, I I should try and target Took, but we'll work it out.
I think Took would be a great target for anyone who doesn't have him. Like, I
And
don't
he's
really, he's
highly
at
owned.
24, he's
He's highly
24%
owned.
owned. All right.
Yeah.
He's at 572. I think this will be the lowest he'll ever be throughout the whole season. And I think
Yeah.
he's going to be an easy top 8 mid, easily. I reckon he'll be like top 4, top 5. Because he's just going to be consistent.
Yeah.
So I think he's a great trading target. There's heaps of great trading targets as well though, because there's Steele as well, who's is another great trading target. I don't know if he averages 120 every game, but he's easily going to
I
go
think
like one.
I think he's easy 115.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's
Um,
around the mark. He looks great.
yeah. Yeah, no. So I thought you were getting Steel this week, so you've definitely cooled off that. Mm,
The only reason I cooled off it is I think I can catch him.
mate, there's no
So
chance you catch. When are you going to catch him? That's my question.
yeah, I really want him in, but I think there's more upside with Flanders in my forward line at the moment. Because if I get stealing, then I'm just stuck with trying to fucking work out this rookie situation again.
Mm, exactly.
But I'd love to punt
Yeah.
off one of this F6 and Chucky and Flanders, you know?
Well, that's why people Flanders, but that's why people are getting Powell as well because the forward line is just absolute junk, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that's where the points are lost, and then you try and get in a bloke like Dempsey who's non-forward. You know, the mids aren't most of the mids aren't even mid forward apart from Lazaro and the other bloke
Oh, it's so difficult
Wilson.
to like maneuver. Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
reason, one of the main
you may as
reasons I
well.
did that
Yeah.
trade last week was because I wanted to have some flexibility, but I'll gain that back when I get Flanders in. But it's just fucking ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally all in the mids as well, which is this is how. But the bad thing, like I'm looking at my team, and I missed out on Sanders, but all my other mids scored 90s, you know, or around there. So it's
Yeah.
not as big as a loss as you for Berry. So if you cull Berry, you'll be in a good
Hmm.
position because you can just field them. But there's always just going to be a rookie, um, roulette kind of thing where
Hmm.
it's just going to happen. We got all our players are playing essentially, and they're playing all right. So
Hmm. I feel like
what it is.
if I can nail this rookie roulette, like after next, not this round, after not next round, not this round coming up, but not the next round, but after that, my team will be in very good shape because I'll be able to consistently nail the rookies, and I feel like I've nailed the primos, like I've nailed some
Yeah.
good blokes,
Oh,
and then the back line I'm pretty stoked with. And then as soon as I get Flanders in there, then my forward line will be pretty stock standard as well. So,
yeah.
do you want to jump on your team?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's such a strange one because I'm trying not to panic on the rank because I just know that it'll even itself out, and eventually, like within the next couple of rounds, I'll probably jump into the top 1% if I just continue and not to
Yep.
panic trade or get reactive.
Yep.
Are you the same? It's like you just like kind of trying to
It's a
stick to your
bit.
guns, knowing that it's going to work.
Can you see my thing there? No.
Oh, sorry, no, I haven't. It's not on the bottom yet.
I'll just.
Yeah,
No, I do agree though. I mean, that should work now.
yeah. There we go.
I am panicking, but I'm not. I've just realized where I've mucked up, and I just don't have. And I've been saying this all day. I've even said it to my girlfriend. I'm like, I don't have enough killers in my team. It's like big
You're
because
missing
I
out on
look.
one killer.
I am, and it's actually annoying because I went Bont and Lions instead of Wines. Oh, sorry, I went Johan Wines instead of Liver and Lions, which may have been all right, but it's actually not all right because Lions had a bye. But I would have milked one of these rookie scores, um, and I don't know if I would have got Butters anyway. Like I was 50-50 on him. I liked Liver.
Can we talk
Like
about this though, real quick?
yeah,
At the start of but like 2 rounds ago, I said there's no way I'm going near Wines because
yeah,
I thought he was going to be like a 90s kind of player, like, and
yeah,
for an extra bit of money you could, but you already had Steele, but I could have gone to Crouch, or like
yeah.
there's other people that you could have gone to, but you took the punt on Wines, and
Yeah,
obviously,
well,
or
this
he's
wouldn't
going
have
to pop
worked.
off, but
This wouldn't have worked. The wines and yo, like I had 5K remaining, and it was
yeah,
like a Sunday game. But in hindsight, the easiest trade I would have done was to get Crouch in for wines, and then my team's perfect. Where now I'm thinking, oh, I have to be creative, but like I didn't do too bad. I'm just going back to where it all starts. I think I scored 1,977 or something like that.
yeah, you were
1,009, yeah.
right behind me.
And I think you're only 2 points ahead of me, or something. We're very close, so it's
20
really
20 something points, yeah.
yeah. I mean that, and I
The
think I was
difference
28.
between you having Flanders and me having Tuke, literally.
Yeah. And our teams are quite similar. But when I was looking at the scores, my app kept playing up and it just kept showing my full score. And then I
Mm.
was actually 10 points behind the guy my matchup that I was versing. Um, so then I looked at, and then I was like, I figured out what was going on. But what I've done is like going for the value. I reckon mucks, like if you're doing best 18, it mucks it up a little bit. I mean, you just have to make sure your value's right. And so if if I don't have crouch, or like I didn't have
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. I actually didn't even think of that. Like best 18, it's literally you need the killers in there. You need the guns.
yeah,
Otherwise
and
you're
I
fucked a
was
little bit.
I would give Abs a shout out, but Abs Magic, one of our favorite YouTubers, but he was saying this, and I saw the young. I wanted to turf Martin straight away, and then I went, nah, just give him one more week, and then I could have got Sarong for Martin, and then I called my Jets a little bit and didn't bother, but that would have been the play, because this best 18 stuff, like you just all the big scores, um, they just work in your favor because once you get a couple of big ones, because I'm looking at my team now, I had Dacos VC as well. Um, Young was just absolutely awful. He's got to be my mention of the week. I've and I said to you the week before, I said I'm not confident in this bloke whatsoever. I want to trade him out, and I don't know why I didn't do it. And it's just because he's so highly owned, but far out. He was
We both wanted
terrible.
to trade him out, but you said
He was awful, man.
you were ahead of the pack and you were like yeah, I want to trade him out. And I tried to tell you, I was like, nah, let's just give him some time. Give him some time. And you're
Well,
like, nah, I
we
want to
had
punt him.
Martin. I had Martin and Wines and Young, and I knew this was coming, and I didn't listen to myself. But I was like, these these players, they're fucking no good, mate. Like, but I didn't know. I didn't see the Freo game last week because I think that was the late one that I missed. But I didn't even look into his clangers. I just thought he played a bad game, and I forgot about it. I thought it was, just a one in.
Well, I thought that he got moved down to the back line. And we were like,
Mm.
well, that's all right. Yeah.
I didn't even think about his clangers, which is a bit crap by us to even think of. But anyone has clangers. You just say bad game. Same thing happened the week before. He looks slow. He looks sluggish. I would have cut off his ponytail. I want to do many things to Hayden Young. I know he's probably a great bloke, but I'm sorry, mate. What's his break even?
What are you looking for that? Hayden Young looked
165.
he looked uninterested. He looked like he
No,
didn't want to be there. He
sorry.
had
Yeah, I
no
agree.
intensity at all. Like
Yeah,
what the
not even running like I'll get onto him in a minute, but like there's people that run those type of midfielders to collect the ball. Bont, for example, he's running on the outside, and Hayden Young is a great kick. They want him to use the outside to penetrate the forward 50. Just wasn't even doing it. Was letting Sarong do it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm
yeah.
just like, is he injured or what's actually happened to him?
He reminded me so much of 2023 Jack Steele.
Yeah.
Was just running the classic midfielder running patterns,
Yeah.
just classic running patterns, and always around the ball, always a little bit off though, and was only gonna receive the footy if he had to, and was never like, give me the footy, give me the footy, give me the footy,
Yeah.
like never really wanting it, and was just like, it was just a pushover. And like
Yeah.
even when he got the footy, he didn't look like he had any intensity to get it off. Like, what was he doing?
Just stupid kicks. But as soon as I saw a quarter of that game, I just knew he was garbage because he was fumbling marks, just doing everything. I've just gone, "Fuck, like, why didn't I just listen to my gut and get rid of
Mm,
him?"
yeah.
But we'll get on to positive. I mean, just Wines can be viewed as a negative, and I viewed it. I missed the game, so I was a bit angry and thinking he's a bit shit. But then I looked at his score, and he got 99, and he missed 2 goals,
Could have been a
which
120.
could have been a 120. But he's that type of player. Same with Martin, where you're sort of wanting more, but you're not really getting it. But yeah, my trades for the week were same as you, Fisher for Billings, Reed for D'Ambrosio, and then Berry in. Um, But my stallion of the week is torn between two. I would love to give it to Jack Steele because I just love Jack Steele, but I love one player more. Um, and we'll need to get the song in, but it's yo 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 yo,
yo, yo, yo, yo, Mr. Worldwide. Yo,
mate.
yo,
He
yo.
was I could have sworn. Well, he had the most touches at halftime, and he was on 70 something, 75 maybe or 70, but he butchered it a little bit. Then I actually watched it more intensely in third quarter. Did not touch the ball once, and I'm just going, oh, this is just my luck. And then the fourth quarter, he just turned into junk mode, and he's actually like a defensive midfielder, so he's playing on green a little bit, and he just got the ball. Like I remember Pavlich just going, he needs to stand up. He hasn't touched the footy. Literally, once the ball went up, Yo just grabbed it, fucking ran all the way and kicked a goal for outside 50. And I'm just like, yes. So he cruised to
Go
110.
on, son.
I reckon he's a great option. I don't know if you would trade him in, but people trading out young, I mean, if you're a risk taker like me, I guess there's better options around the price, but I reckon he's a great starting option. Like I'm
I think it's
very
an
happy.
incredible starting pick, but a
Yeah,
very, very risky trading pick because it's around the
that's
same
it.
price. People can make an argument for Wanganeen Miller, um,
I
or then
know.
you can just go up to Houston. Like, there's some,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
And at 447K, like, see, that's what you want from Wines. But he nearly got there, Wines. So I'm thinking I'll give him another week.
Hmm.
But that's sort of what you want. That sneaky 110, 105, just a little bit above. But yeah, Martin and Wines they're just lingering. And we watch Martin. I'm probably on my trades. Are probably going to be Martin out as much as I don't want to get rid of him because of McGrath. McGrath's in a moon boot. Um, but I think I have to get rid of him to fund everyone. But my trades, I
Hmm.
think I've got about 3 plans, but I'll speak about the other plan afterwards. But who's the other one? Barry out. So
And
it's
it's
Carol.
it's
Yeah,
it's a
you
little bit
go.
interesting as well because the Nick Martin pick, you probably only got until next week if you, and then if you stick with him, you kind of stuck with him just because he just has such a high break even. So if you would want to get off Nick Martin, you would have to get him off out of him this week or next week. Otherwise, you in a bit of strife.
Exactly, and it will. And like I just said before, we need. And I'll say it 100 times today. We need absolute bona fide killers in our team.
We need
They can just
killers.
spray and spray the SuperCoach points all around and get me all these good scores. But the trades that I was thinking for the YouTube listener, the Spotify listeners, was Young out for Nasir. What's his name? Wanganeen Malira. I don't know his first
Yeah,
name. Nas. Naughty,
Wanganeen
naughty
Miller. We
Nas.
just call him Miller.
Sorry, Nas. I'll learn you. I know he's Nas. I'll just call him Nas. Um, Nas in, Butters in for Martin, and um, Carol in for, I think it was Berry. Yeah, it was Berry.
Yeah.
So I'm having a look at my team now. It's actually way more balanced.
I love this
Um,
team. This team looks elite right now. The
yeah,
only
but I'm
thing that I'm
missing
scared
Grouch.
about,
I'm missing Grouch.
but you
Oh.
have you've got to think though that you can't have all of them, and if you do have all of them, you're sacrificing somewhere.
Well,
Um,
if you think about it this way, right, and you are totally right. I've got Yo. I mean, Crouch might score maybe 5 points per game more, but that's questionable as well. Like I've got that type of player. More Wines is just the overall concern, really.
you
Um,
don't even need to put in Wang and Miller, because you have Yo back there.
so the issue is the because Young locks me in, and I sort of stuffed up. Not really stuffed up. I thought I needed to trade out Reed because I thought Hall was sub. and he's still a risk, to make money. So I thought maybe get off Reed and Gibcus at the same time week after. So Nas is locked into a
True. If
position.
you get rid of Young, you have to put a backman
I
in there.
mean,
You can't really.
I reckon this ruins my cash gen, but
I wouldn't be opposed to putting Pink back there.
that's what I was just going to say to you. But I guess I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like I'm
on
missing out
Carroll.
on well
But then
Dempsey
it
and
comes to
Carroll.
like, yeah, do you want the killers or do you want a little bit of cash gen?
Yeah, and that
It's kind
way that way both does it, I guess. I mean, like I got
like Pink's going to gain cash. You got cash coming from Howes as well. Like you don't like you've got cash. You've got Sanders there. You got Roberts. You've got McKercher. You've got Wilson. Sexton's gaining cash. Cadman's gaining cash. Harley Reid's gaining
oh
cash.
1,000
Oh my
subscribers.
god!
I mean, I found actually.
All right,
Sorry,
put it Sarong.
that's what I could have done.
Yeah, go
I could do
Sarong
it
instead of
wrong,
Butters.
but
Yeah, and then you get them both.
this is actually what I was thinking about earlier. Is trading Matt Crouch to Nick Martin worth it? Considering we don't know what is Crouch just want someone you missed, or is he a must-have? That was actually I think I did this last night, and I had the same thing. Um, you know,
That's such a great question. Is Crouch someone you missed, or is he a must-have? I think he's not a must-have. He's
that
not
and that's
because
and that's why, yeah. And I mean, if I get Pink, that means I lose out on Carroll or Dempsey. I could get one of the other,
mm,
Carroll or Dempsey, because I was playing around with this earlier as well. And you can get Sarong and Ollie Dempsey, who I like. I think his name's Ollie Dempsey. Yeah,
yeah.
and
But you got to think if you because Crouch, if you get Crouch, and this is what I'm scared of, his
yeah,
role can change at any given time. He could
that's
just
what I
be
mean.
like, our midfield sucks. See you later. And now he scores fucking 50. Well, like he's just, and you're like, fuck. So I don't think he's a must have. I think people with, I reckon Jack Steele's more of a must have than Crouch if you're going to put him in those lines.
Yeah, and so it's just a sort of rolling issue, I guess, is trying to find out who is the right what is the right play. But I think Jack Carroll and Dempsey, one of them are must-haves. Not must-haves, but you look at my team and you think Sexton, he's no good. He's actually shit. Like he got put forward third quarter or fourth quarter. Lazaro got
Hmm.
subbed early. Then all the others are pretty stock standard. They'll make you good coin. So if Pink will be a slow burn rather than maybe Carroll or Dempsey that you can probably trade out.
Mm.
Say round 6, round 5. I don't know. It's crystal ball, obviously. Yeah. So
Do you
I
think
think I
that,
might lean. Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, do you think that it's a basically between Carroll and Dempsey? You can't have both. It's
Yeah,
kind of like Samson Ryan and JVR last year, and
yeah.
I think
I think
Dempsey's JVR.
and I think Carroll's just got a great role.
Yeah,
He'll
Sam
be
Walsh role.
Sam Walsh is out indefinitely. So it makes him just such a good pick. And I think the
Mm,
thing about Wanganeen and NWM, we'll call him, he, I was looking at his heat map and all that kind of stuff. He's playing half back, but he took 8 kick-ins in the first game, and then the second game, once Sinclair was back, he was he what did he do? He got 1 kick in the second game, I'm pretty sure, and he got 32 touches, I'm pretty sure. But Collingwood just love to do that sort of pox kick, and so I was looking at the rankings. We're ranked about 15th at the moment for defenses this year, so we're kind of that type of team. But he also got about 20. He got over 25 touches, I'm pretty sure, in the second game. So he reminds me a bit like Houston, where he doesn't take the kick-ins, but he's just around the footy and, you know,
Mm.
he's just integral. So I don't mind him. I also love Luke Ryan as well as an option. I just don't know how I fit him in, and it means forgetting about someone than Butters. But I think the first trade works. There was a
Mm.
sort of mid pricer trade, but I feel like I need a big player in to just, get me a bigger score, because I feel like everyone's got, maybe a three or four players, where I've got mostly role players that can pepper around that 100 to 115 range. It's nothing like major going on. So
The problem with the mid prices this year is that they just all have to score like 10 points less, and now you're down. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like if let's just say all your mid prices scored, let's just say 7 points more each, then you're probably up a heap. You know what I mean?
well, best 22, it would be the way to go, but there's so many buys now.
That's what I mean.
Um,
Like with their best 18, like if they just scored a little bit more each, then they probably
and
comes into contention a little bit more.
and I think it's actually a guns and rookies type of year. Um, like I've just been looking at it all, like all these good rookies that Sharp's another one, Jeremy Sharp. And there's a heap more. I think. Well, Sam Darcy's going to pop up. Then there's Toby Pink, and then there's a
You're
number of
so right.
players.
And it's going to be like
Um,
this for ages.
we're not going to be screwed with cash gen at all. I mean, this is how the team would look if I put Crouch in my team, and then I'll just talk about someone that I wanted to talk about
The
later.
fuck is James Jordan in your midfield?
I was just for mid forward status.
So you'd put Sexton on over Cadman.
But then I'm left in the same issue. I've got Wines, Roberts, and McKercher, and I have the issue of it's really out of Roberts and McKercher out for Sanders,
Yeah.
you know, which
I
is
like this
okay
a
to
lot
have.
more though. Like look at there's some big time scores. You've got your
Yeah,
killers now.
but then I've got Toby Pink in the team. Shit, cash gen.
That's very true. Toby Pink is a liability back there, but he's the best of those options. And it comes back
I
to what
know.
we were talking about at the very start of the season, and we flipped last second that you would want to just stack your back line first because there's no value back there.
Yeah, so that's what the previous team looks like. It has Dacos, Sheasel, Yo, D'Ambrosio, and Nas there.
Wanganeen, yeah.
Yeah. So that's and then it has Butters in the middle.
I like the look of the last team better. Heaps better. It look
Yeah,
a lot more balanced, I think.
but this
Do you
one it's
agree?
just mid heavy. This one's the
This,
same problem you had. Yep.
yeah, this one is what I'm trying to get out of.
Yep. Uh, there's two players that sort of intrigue me. Um, Defensive options. I mean, one is I don't have the stats in front of me, but one is definitely Mitch McGovern,
Hmm.
which is crazy to think, because who would actually say
Explain.
that?
You've been talking about Mitch McGovern not all day. You mentioned him today, so tell me about him.
Oh, well,
Sell him.
one of
Sell
the
him to us
boys,
and the
one of the
listeners.
boys in the one of the boys in the group chat was like, "I'm getting McGovern for Hayden Young," and I was just like, "Yeah, whatever." And then I actually looked at his score, um, and it's a small sample size, but I'm pretty sure he had 98 in the first game. I'm just loading it. But the big thing about McGovern, he's taking most of the kick-ins. So I think he took. I think they're split between him and Newman, I'm pretty sure. But I just know that he's taking a lot of the kick-ins. But I'm pretty sure he got this last year's semi-final. He played blinder and he scored like 113 or something like that. Then the first game he scored 94, which is so, and then 119, and then he's got North and Frio to match up with. So he's got a softer sort of run, and he's going to increase in cash. But I don't think I'll go there, because it's just when is he? if you had to choose, it's an easy choice, isn't it? You go Nas, instead of McGovern. But the other option is Windhager, um, who played a blinder, but he's a risky pick as well. He's around 353k. Um, but I thought he played a running role with Nick Dacos the whole time, and that's why he was in the mids. But I think he had the second most CBAs. Um, but I just
What, the
don't
week
think
before
if
as well?
no, well, I don't think he had the most CBAs the week before. He only scored a 54 because Crouch was in the team. But I don't think you can go there. Well, you could go there if you want to punt, but it just feels a little bit risky going there. I mean,
Hmm.
353. I'm pretty sure he's priced at awkward price. You don't know if he's going to be any good. You've just jumped off Young, who's not going to be that much good. It's just a lot of, if you're jumping off Young, you may as well just go up a little bit. So
Like
to your
you're
Ryan or
just
Houston,
you're jumping off a pick to
another
basically a
questionable
same,
one.
yeah, another risky pick. I get it.
Yeah, my fear with Nas is that he has lost his kick-ins now, and Collingwood aren't that much good, and we're just bombing it literally. But I was looking, and this was going to be a question to you offline, but how much do you factor in meters gained for players? Do you think it's a
Never.
valuable
I never
stat?
factor it.
I
I
was
never
looking
factor
at
it in.
I was looking at a few meters gained stats, and I'm not. Our whole thing is being uneducated, and you know
Yeah.
we don't know much what we're talking about. But I looked at the stat, and most of those players score higher because they're progressing the ball and just obviously getting a lot of touches. And they had a good sort of AFL fantasy stat because I was looking at it on the AFL app. But he smokes meters gained, so they're obviously using him for a purpose.
Do you think that
You know
meters gain though can just be like someone just
exactly,
slapping it on the boot and like it just
exactly.
goes to the opposite person?
But well, like most of the good ones, like Josh Dacos, for example, he had most meters gained. But you could say the
Hmm.
same thing. He just slaps the footy. Um, but I'm just trying to see, well, if he's getting used 26 touches or 28, and his heat map's pretty good. It's mostly on one side, obviously, because he's a halfback sort of flanker winger.
Hmm.
Um, but he was electric when last year,
What did he
like for
score this week?
so I'll just get his stats up. So
Just put this
Nasaya,
out there,
what
everyone.
what a what a dumbass, Will. What a dumbass.
Are we looking at Wanganeen Miller or are we looking at Windhager?
Yes. Oh no, Wanganeen Miller.
Oh my god! This
Uh,
whole time I thought you were talking about Windhager, and
oh
I was
no, no.
like, "Why are you trying to sell me the
Oh
ship on
no, no, no.
Windhager right now?"
No, no.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Windhager, I just said he's too questionable, but
okay,
that's why I've sort of leaned towards Nas.
yeah, yeah,
So
okay, sure.
sorry for the listeners if
Nah,
that
it's probably
was
just
so
me.
confusing. Nah,
You
I
should-
100% reckon it's fucking me. Um,
Shut
but
up, fucking.
120. That's Nas's stats. Last year he went through like a great period where he was, I think it was after round 8, 97, 57, 113, 100, 119, 116, 110, 92, 94, 107. So it's really not the scores. It's not D6 scores, is it? That's the question.
Well, it looks like he's taking it to another level. In the practice matches, he looked incredible, and we said it.
Yep.
We said he looked really, really good. We couldn't fit him into our team, but he looked great.
Yep.
And if you're gonna trade him out for anyone, it was definitely gonna be Young. So I don't hate the pick. I actually quite like the
Yeah.
pick.
And it's better than all the younger, like the sort of um the prices for the Windhager prices, the smaller
Hmm.
prices. It's too much risk doing that. Where maybe risk, you could take someone like Kim to fit in Butters. I think that will probably work out well.
What's his price compared to Young's price?
He's 50k shorter.
Ah, so you gain a little bit of cash as well. Probably gain a better
Yeah, well,
player.
Well, there's not really any options. So if you look at the options, like the options are grim as
Because
man.
I've honestly haven't looked at the only as soon as I'd already made up my decision that I was putting in Luke Ryan. So I didn't look at any options other than Luke Ryan. I'm pretty
Yeah.
set that I will just go Luke Ryan, but I'd love to
If
see.
if I didn't have if I was missing one key mid, um, it'd probably be an easy decision. Go get a Butters or get a Houston.
Hmm.
If this loads.
Give me a sec. Okay.
All right, I'm going defender status 520.
Hmm. Are you doing it on your phone?
Well, it's not working. This thing.
There you go.
Let's go players here.
Can you hear that fan? Is that annoying?
No, it's fine.
Fan. For all the Spotify listeners, my dog, a little English Staffy, and he is right next to me right now, and he looks like he's going to run through all the lights I've got set up, and it's just going to go fucking everywhere. Just an absolute fucking shit fight. Here he goes. He's getting ready to do it. Yes, earlier today before we jumped on the stream, next door just fucking started. I've never really spoken to the neighbors, and then yesterday, just like before, I just heard them like a little commotion going next door, and then I just started hearing from the room next door. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Kept going. Bloke's fucking spinning on the decks, just playing tracks, just fucking. And I'm just here, just going.
Shut up! Shut up!
So we're back, baby. We'll had some technical difficulties, but we're here on my stream. My face is fucking red as fuck. Look at that. Anyway,
go three round average.
Filters. How do I see fucking 3 round? Oh yeah. I gotta click here. 3 round average. So 3 round average.
These are my options.
Jerry McGovern, no. Harris Andrews, no. Mitch McGovern. Oh, true. I see why you want that now. He's one of your options.
119 3-round average.
Wayne Miller. Massimo. True. Elliot Yo, you've got those two.
Yep.
I see what you mean. There's really nothing.
What about Lachlan Bramble?
Yeah, you could go Bramble. Negative 26. 107 and an 84 in his system. Didn't play too bad on the weekend, especially for a 292k player, but you probably get the same amount of value from some midfield rookies.
Yeah.
But it's not bad though. One for a backline. I mean, it's a great option.
Would you pick him ahead of Naughty Nas?
No.
Yeah. See?
Nah.
So
I think that's your only option. Yep. Yeah. Go Wang and Miller. Unless you can really pick someone, then I don't see what you can do. You have to remember though that this isn't a 3-round average. This is a 2-round average. Because he's only played 2 games.
I'd love to see I haven't got his preseason stats. But I think we're giving him gets injured. He's always been a good option.
Say that again. You cut out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go.
Yep. So Jeremy McGovern, his brother, he's just going to get so much football because West Coast is so shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it's actually true.
It's such a
durability issues. Yeah.
Look, I don't think he's played more than 10 games each year.
Yeah. So how many did he play last year? He played 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Played 11 games.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll pick him then. Good if it was 9. But no, that's all I have, Michael.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we're going to end it for this one. We're going to do 2 pods this week. we're going to do a team reveal, and then we'll our trades and plans and review. And we might do this every week now, and then we're going to do just some other like trade targets and stuff, and like typical pod during the week. Yeah.
Thanks,
anything to add, Will?
Nothing at all. Just get
Thanks,
a killer
lads.
in.
Thanks for listening. Just get the fucking killers in.